is suitable for general family viewing.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of The Grind with me, your host, Hibak Said. On this particular episode, we're going to be concentrating on carpentry. Not just any carpentry, indoor carpentry. What goes into the making of the furniture that you usually have in your house? What is the process? We go step by step, and maybe this would be a business that you would be interested in. But first, let's take a look at the market margins. Furniture scope is quite popular, judging by furniture shops sprouting along major highways. Kenyans seem to love custom-made furniture, and seeing as this is a staple in many homes, the demand will never dry out. So how much does it cost to start a furniture business in Kenya? The cost of starting a furniture business depends on the nature of your business. For example, do you make furniture or do you buy ready-made furniture for resale? It is much cheaper if your business will be involved in making furniture compared to buying ready-made furniture. It will also give you higher profit margins. The cost of starting a furniture making business in Kenya is around 100,000 Kenyan shillings or more, depending on the location and the type of furniture made. So let's have a breakdown of the initial costs. You will need a business permit, furniture yard to rent, timber supplies, carpentry tools, carpenters or employees, and other miscellaneous costs like transportation. Gotten your tidbits from market margins, you have your numbers, you have the historical background. Let's go to our entrepreneur of the week. We already have our entrepreneur of the week with us. Fendi is going to be telling us what is the process that goes into carpentry. Is this something that you would be interested in? I've always wanted to know what happens before I get the furniture that I get in my house. Fendi, if you could start by introducing yourself, what is your business about?
My name is Fena Kawondi. I run a business called Fendi Interior Design. We specialize in furniture making, and we use timber, we use metals, so we are trying also to incorporate other things like bamboo in the process, but we'll let you know and have a look at what we have.
Right. And clearly Kenyans are really expanding their horizons, seeing all the processes that are going in here, and people actually want custom-made pieces. Maybe we could start with the very first step. What happens when, the wood comes here first?
When we buy dry wood timber that has dried with the kiln, and at times we also bring it outside here to let it sun dry so that the entire air is out. Then now we take it to the process whereby now we start the joinery and the carpentry work just kicks off. So when the timber has already dried, it's taken for the carpentry for measurements. Then a design work is done for custom-made pieces. We get a client to choose whatever they choose. Then I personally draw the furniture custom pieces. Then I give the templates to my team, whereby they can be able to draw out their template. Then now they start the carpentry and joinery work.
Right, and it's very important that you even have to be involved, because there are some things that you need to look into, especially when you're giving, your clients the best product that you possibly can. Now, how many steps are we talking? You have a number of employees here. How does it go from one stage to the other? Which employee does what, and how does it help with the final product?
Every single artisan here, they specialize in a particular skill. So you find at the end of the day, the product itself is very unique, because somebody who has specialized in carpentry will hand it to the person who does the polishing work. Then from the polishing person, he hands it maybe to the upholstery. If it's a sofa set, then upholstery is being done with somebody who has specialized in doing the fitting, and somebody who stitches also stitches. So each and every individual, you find each and every piece has so many people behind it. Yeah.
What was the inspiration that went behind starting this business? As you can see, it takes so many steps, and of course it's a lot of work. What is the inspiration behind your business?
I would say I'm a creative, and I wanted now to monetize my creativity. And I love interior design. I did interior design, so I wanted to merge my creativity and artistic side to merge it with I can make, because when I create something, that is just like a piece of art.
Right. A lot of people who are watching The Grind right now might want to be where you are at right now, and they're thinking, what are some of the steps that you took to get here? How many years did it take you? What did you need to do? What paperwork was required of you?
Of course, from experience, I've been employed before. So from the different companies that I worked for, I would say they created a foundation for me. They enabled me to at least, they nurtured me in how to master my skill, and I was able to learn with whatever they do. Then I applied that, and of course a lot of research. And since it's something that I would say it's a hobby, I translated it into something that I love doing. So that's basically what I did.
Right. And Fendi, of course, you are a creative, so you make custom pieces for your, customers. But there are companies that mass make furniture, and maybe sometimes the cost could be a bit lower than what you're offering. How exactly do you convince your customers to take custom-made pieces?
To convince customer to have they will be able to personalize their spaces with the custom piece furniture, because you find each and every client, they come different. Some would love dark stain, some would like light stain, some would like furniture in glass. So with the different materials, and also when we go to their houses, we are able to see how their spaces are. At least you can be able to pick their kind of personality and merge into their pieces.
Right. You're matching personality to the type of furniture that every individual wants. Of course, this is not a monopoly. You do have a lot of competitors who are within this particular industry. How exactly do you deal with this? How exactly, do you have an edge over your competitors?
I think I would say you perfect in your art. There's competition, yes, but when you perfect in your art, definitely you'll attract the kind of clientele who like your pieces, and also try and see whatever your competitors are doing to be able to also learn from them, because if we are narrow-minded and just thinking of what we do, there are other competitors that might be doing something else that is different, and if we merge that, at least we can be growing and also at least deliver to the clients to the best possible way.
Right. Fendi, you are, of course, doing interior design, and some of the times, you get your orders from your customers through this. Do you believe that maybe this could be a venture that someone could do individually? Could it thrive on its own?
Yes, definitely it will thrive. There's so much interior design, I would say, if you compare with over the years and now, so many people are warming up into interior design and also space planning. So people like good spaces. There's so much data on internet, so they're able to see and research. They would even pop in on their social media pages. So at least I would say that one is something people are warming up into, and it's something I would really encourage somebody who is upcoming or who wants to do the same, or has who has a dream to have the same industry like mine. It's very possible and doable. It just wants resilience, and also make sure that whatever you produce to your client, it's something of high quality. You make sure that whatever you do it to your best. And also when you follow up on orders, you make sure that you keep your promises. If there's a particular lead time of a particular product, make sure that you meet that time frame that you've given your client, and your client will be happy.
Right, and it's not always rosy. There has to be, challenges. What are some of the challenges that you've had to go under?
The challenges that I would say maybe that I've encountered, either you can find, let's say the client has not given like specific dimensions when you've done your pieces, then when you take it, maybe it's not fitting the space. So usually with that, we encourage you go to the site itself and do the measurements ourselves, so at least we are able to take the measurements the way we know how it's supposed to be done. Then also I would say scarcity of materials at times, because we get them locally, so we find at times maybe the prices might be fluctuating. So here and there we try as much as possible to customize, to to work within the client's budget, because they can be able to they might need a particular style and maybe they cannot really meet it. So we try and strike a balance in between. But I would say all in all is not as bad.
Right. Yeah. And of course, there are challenges. Economically speaking, things are changing every day. Customers, the dynamics are so many. Where is the future of your business? Where do you see your business in the next few years?
In the next few years, I see us growing and now maybe having not really custom pieces. We can do the custom pieces, but now in mass production, we are actually we are working on opening a showroom whereby we can be able to display our pieces, because we can say because of demand, so many clients have always asked us, like, where can we find ready-made pieces? So we hear your cries as clients, and we want to do the same, at least to meet our clients' needs. There are those who would want things like almost instant, so we'll be able to deliver that.
And maybe knowing that this is a skill-based business, you do have a lot of employees. Are you required to upskill them? How exactly do they keep up with the trend so that you can give the best to your customers?
Most of the time, what I normally do, I share with them the images, the ideas, and the latest photos of what we can find in data. I'm also, as I said earlier, I'm a creative, so I usually do a lot of sketches and we research and we see we usually do prototypes. So with that, at least they're able to also stretch their creativity muscle. Then most of my team here, they are well skilled. They've worked in different industries, different companies before, and they've done it, and they do some little bit of training. So they do like a 1 month training whereby they can be able to at least do the fine-tune whatever they are doing. Then we normally do some training for the young learners, I would say. A few, we've not started it like primarily, because we find the orders are very many. So when it's a slow month or a slow season, that is when we are able to maybe to bring in 1 or 2 individuals who are interested, and we just train them and see how best they can be able to perform. They do in different sectors. They can decide and do the carpentry area. If we find that they have a strength in that, then we absorb them in that direction. If they are good in the upholstery section, then we also do the same. Yeah, so it just depends with the strength and the ability to be able to execute.
Right, and we will be able to see that very practically. We want to see, how exactly is this employee good at this? How exactly, what are the processes that goes into furniture making? We will be doing that in a bit, but first we go for a very short break. We'll be right back.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na Nisani kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus niko niwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee, soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30 kuendelea.
Join us on a journey through the concrete jungles and rising skylines, where every beam, every nail tells a story of progress and vision.
In every aspect of life, you have to look at several dynamics.
From groundbreaking,
nowadays with the tech, you can check on different websites or you check online and you can see some inspiration. So at least that one would be a direction already. I'll know like what kind of style you're going for.
To finishing touches, witness the dedication of the hard-working teams who bring these ambitious dreams to reality. The Realtor, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m.
So what exactly do you need to start a furniture business? Here are a few essentials you must consider. 1. Get carpentry training. If you are the one who will be making furniture for your business, then you need to get training. There are many vocational institutions in Kenya where you can train in carpentry. Get a reliable timber supplier. If you're involved in the making of furniture, you need to find a reliable timber supplier. You can source timber from a logger or a timber yard. Make sure to use quality timber for your furniture products. Remember, low quality timber makes poor quality furniture. Get a suitable furniture or business location. The other thing is to find a suitable business location for your furniture business. The location should be easily accessible and visible from afar by passers-by. You also need to have adequate space to place your furniture for display. Get a business located in a busy area like a town. The demand for furniture products is usually higher in towns compared to rural areas. It should also be in an area where it is easy to access timber. Acquire business permits. It is a legal requirement for any business operating in Kenya to get a business permit. You can get a business permit from the county government offices or the county council offices. Business permit fees vary from one county to another, but it is between 5,000 Kenyan shillings and 10,000 Kenyan shillings a year. Also, market your furniture business. You also need to market your business by displaying furniture or through word of mouth. Social media is also a good option. With time, your business will start having frequent customers and will become profitable. All right, and welcome back to The Grind. We went for a very short break, but before we even went on the break, we were highlighting the furniture making process, the furniture business. Maybe if you could just tell us, we've gone through so many processes. Where, when the wood comes in, what is the first process it goes through? How is it, made into this couch? How do I get this furniture in my house?
For upholstery, the frame, we buy once we have the timber here, we get the furniture, we get the timber to dry. Then after drying, we build a frame. After building a frame, we do the forming, then now the upholstery, now the fabric. That's how we cover the seats to have a complete set.
And that's how you get this beautiful product. If you could just tell us, different customers want different things. This particular set, what did the customer want?
This one is for Airbnb. So the client wanted a very simple furniture, something that is easy to clean. It shows that, so when you go to an Airbnb, there's high traffic, so you need a furniture that can be able to be cleaned and you can be able to spot that. So even the structure itself, it's a very simple one whereby it doesn't have so much going on. So even when you have a next client or a next visitor to your Airbnb, you can easily clean it very fast and host the other guest.
Right, and of course there are customers who come knowing exactly what they want and how they want it. Do you usually offer advisories to your clients in accordance to whatever they want the furniture for?
Yes, absolutely. When a client comes and they want maybe for their residential houses, you find it needs to at least reflect their personality. So once we've shared notes on whatever they want, the kind of design and style they like, that is when we come in with our expertise. We can advise them if they can go that direction, or maybe is there any improvement that we can be able to do. If we're able to approach that, that's okay. If not, then we can give them other options and suggestions to meet their preference on their houses.
Right. And I'm glad you've, of course, brought up the expertise aspect. You have been doing this for a couple of years. You do know what your clients want and what your customers want. How do you ensure that you get customer satisfaction?
I would say different clients come with different challenges and ideas. So I've done it for quite a number of years. I would say roughly about 10 years. But now running Fendi Interior Design, we've been here for like 4 years. And I would say with experience and exposure and interacting also with other people who are in the same business, we are able to share and understand what's the common goal or what the client needs. Yeah, so it has perfected my interior design skills. I would just walk in a room and at least automatically, if not 90%, but at least I would get it right most of the time.
You did mention that raw material can be a problem, and you've been within this industry long enough to know that there was, of course, a timber ban once upon a time. How exactly did you deal with that?
Yes, it was a little bit challenging, but that is when we introduced doing furniture with also metal, because when you're in this industry, you need also to be flexible, because interior design, there's a lot that changes. It's more like fashion, so different trends, different ideas keep on popping in every now and again. So we try and be as flexible as possible in introducing other materials, whereby we can use metal, we can use glass, if let's say it's a coffee table, a shelf. We can also use different woods like bamboo. Those ones we do on order basis, because so other clients, we can do furniture made in bamboo. There's also other woods that we've introduced, like the mango tree, which is also a good one, and it's readily available, unlike the hardwoods that we've been using before. So we've also seen a positive response from clients embracing it, because the way it looks when we've done the different polishing on them, there's a way they look so nice. They look like a marble.
Right.
Yeah.
So when time gets tough, you just have to find other alternatives instead of letting your business die. Tell us more about, these other materials that you've talked about. We're seeing that some of your products are made from metal. What is the process that is taken to make furniture from metal?
It's a little bit, I would say, easy. It's readily available. Even the lead time of metal is faster. So we give our clients that option. If at all they don't want to go to have something in wooden, they can go and use it in metal. Price-wise, it's cheaper. And now we can be able to meet a client's need who's working with a tight budget. So we give them the options, like if you don't want hardwood, then we can use softwood. If not softwood, we can even use metal. And also now you bring in your creativity aspect. How does it look so nice, or where's that wow factor in the pieces? So we usually do sketches and designs. We also research on the internet, and we're able to find a good product at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Your work deals with a lot of creativity, and with creativity, pricing can be a bit different. What I would get for maybe what one would say a simple piece of furniture like this, I would not get if there were more embellishments, more designs to it. How exactly do you, one, determine the pricing, and two, how do you make it logical for your customers?
Of course, once we'll get to know your budget first. Then now with your budget, you can be able to narrow down on what kind of style you can work with. So for a simple style, definitely that one might not really cost much, but a custom made with wooden carvings, the lead time will be longer. So if you're okay with that, that's okay. There are clients who also we've come across who really don't mind time. They don't have like a constrained budget. They provided they want something good, they're okay. So we also try and meet those client needs by doing the bespoke pieces. So that one determines, so with all that put in consideration is what will give us the price of the item.
All right.
Yeah, so it's the time taken, the creativity involved, the time, then also the kind of material, because some fabrics we have them here locally available. There's some fabrics that we import, so it might take like let's say 4 weeks, or even it can take 2 weeks. So it really depends with also those factors.
Right, let's talk about market for a little bit, right? This business, how is the market like? Do you get ready customers? Is it a problem to get customers? How do you have the inflow of people?
By doing a good job, we get referrals. Then also we try and advertise on social media platforms. We get the word out there, and yeah, so pretty much that.
Right, and finally, a lot of grinders are watching you right now. What advice would you give them if they wanted to start this business?
What I can say, you just start. There's no formula in saying how this is the way to go about it. There are so many different stories behind the way people have started their business, but what I can encourage somebody, if you have the interest, you just start.
Right.
Do it, and do it religiously. You never know your breakthrough.
Right, you never know your breakthrough, just start. And speaking of starting, as we of course give you the tidbits for this particular business, you can tell us about your business. Would you like for us to highlight your business? You can reach us on 22047. This is the end of The Grind, this particular episode. See you next week, same time, same place. My name is Hibak Said. Have yourselves a lovely night.